Tombstone Killer already.
Let him try.
Let him try, okay.
Yep.
Oh, Shadow Fiend. It's no one's Shadow Fiend. That's
Bellini, I know you've been watching the draft very, very closely. Winter seems to think that MP have got what it takes to shake up the VP. Was a very unsurprising draft for them.
I think they have a lot of solutions to deal with the Drow Ranger, but not necessarily the Omni Knight. That's definitely what I'm most scared of about MP's draft.
All right, so we'll keep our eyes on that Omni Knight as we're going to get into the game now. So this is game number 1 of our first best of 3 appearing here on the stage. It is going to be Virtus Pro, the favorites, up against an NP who, well, at least draft-wise with the panel, they're believing as favorites too.
I had to get my predictions in. Sorry, Toby.
Of course you do. You were such a point.
You have 35 seconds left.
I actually had to restart because I had an observer bug. But, man, it's good to see the Drow range getting a little bit more work out. With the lineup, though, is it that scary? Like, you're going up against Virtus Pro, a team which recently just came off the win at the Summit. They won that very convincingly, too. And now you're like, you know their laning phase is really, really strong. Is it such like a heavy risk? Like, you run a Drow Ranger lineup, you got to win by 40 or else you're in real trouble.
I think it's much different because they have the OD and VP doesn't have any great defusal carriers. They had their mid pick last. They had their lifestealer pick first. Normally, like, the 1 position buys the defusal blade, but no Juggernaut, let's say. That's probably one of the most common ones that you'll see in the safe lane, and it's like so-so on the Shadow Fiend. So the later it goes, I think the stronger the Omni Knight becomes. I think a lot of it depends on the Sand King. What can the Sand King do? And also, they have a hero that can protect the Omni Knight, which is really important, because normally they just all in on Omni Knight, but with the Astral Imprisonment on the OD, they do have fail-safes as well as the Undying as a backup.
They still need to make this laning phase work. Like, you're running Urga. Urga, like, the most popular hero right now for support, picking up in Envy's phase, so you're forcing Savage to come into the lane to try and beat him out. Because the upside is the fact that no one has gone for like the Necromastery to start with, so there's no Shadow Razors to really hurt the Undying just yet, or to actually build up souls for the SF.
Yeah, he needs to get a couple souls, and he is currently only sitting at 1. Tough matchup for him.
Maybe another reason too why Solo is just moving slightly out of the lane. Gives no one that space to get the levels. But this top lane, like, talk about trying to go up against an SK with an IO sitting behind him too. This seems like it's a little bit too much work for 1437 to do.
Too much regen to chew through. He has a Mango, 2 sets of regen on the Sand King, and then he has a Wisp behind him with a bottle already. So that's pretty much not going to happen. But at least they have dealt with that spawn and not allowed the Sand King to pull and stack.
So what do you want out of this offlane? Looking at Omni Knight, like, Ramses is getting up in his face. MSS was able to hit the Purification, so like health-wise they're still pretty close, but CS-wise, Ramses is pulling slightly ahead, even though the creep wave's still in his favor.
And Omni Knight hasn't gone
that first blood. They get him underneath the tower.
They're just, I mean, the Sand King in this lane is, they talked about the safe lane being secured by the Rubik and the Undying, but because the Undying has been in the mid lane and Sand King has just so much regen, Drow really can't do that much at number 1. You can hit him with the Frost Arrows, but he has Stout Shield already and boots to boot.
They're trying to have a crack at mid. Savage he doesn't have any control when he rotates like this as the Undying.
Dude, he has Arcane
The problem is he doesn't have Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy's back behind the tier 1 tower, still trying to find some CS.
42 mana decay though, Toby. 42. With 7-second cooldown. That's nasty. Yeah, you just don't want to be up against that at all. Shadow Fiend's already sitting at less than 500 HP.
But with the SF, like, it's not that bad, right? Because he's still on Radiant side, he can still stack for himself, but with 2.5 minutes in, there's been no Radiant stacking being done, including Ancients. So
he has 9 souls.
Do you look for that flash farm?
Nah, he has 9 souls already. I think that's good enough to start contesting as well versus the OD.
Oh, there's VP maneuver. They're getting really aggressive on the top lane, coming in behind the tier 1 tower. AUI as well as 1437 have to defend themselves back inside the tree line. Actually bringing more help. So the Undying with TP top. This is what Winter was talking about, that rotation of the Undying if you had to secure your Drow lane.
And now the OD's fallen behind in CS in the mid lane. 13 to 11.
Oh, Savage, Pasha gonna get that Burrow Strike off. They'll keep him slowed up, but maybe, well, they're splitting up so he can't get an easy decay. But with the Gust back, they've got some space. Pasha's dropping down low. Savage still with the Caustic on him. He won't fall from this. But VP Definitely trying to make it so this NP safe lane is not safe at all.
Yeah, this is not what you want from your Draw Ranger lane. This is like one of your worst nightmares as a Draw Ranger. You have 2 other people in your lane that you actually need to help. So you're not getting that much experience. You want your max true shot ASAP and maybe some life leech so you can farm a little bit more. And he's not able to CS well either. Although he is doing pretty decently. 14 is more than I would expect from his lane. So AUI pulling ahead.
Actually, every single lane for the cause, they've all got some decent CS. The SF, of course, is breaking free ahead.
Yeah, Ramses is somewhat in danger of dying down there.
And then Lil rotates over, all the purification. Hits Ramses hard, but he knows he's okay. Lil's still bottling him up. Ramses doesn't have an open wounds available. He's got Rage up if he wants to have another crack, but MSS is already back into the safety range of the Tier 1 tower.
And Pasha narrowly escapes a gank on the top lane with a level 1 and Sandstorm. Picked it up quite early. I like that pickup. Seen far too many go 2-0-3. He's versus a range hero, so I guess the call may be a little bit more wise for him to go for the Sandstorm rather than Max Caustic.
Well, there's nothing that really pulls him out of it, right? Like, there's no AoE stun that you're going to be triggering apart from, like, you've got the Gust to break him out of the channel.
Yeah, telekinesis drop on top of him, but it's all a little bit slow. It's more so that the supports have to actually invest some wards.
MSS, this is very optimistic. He's chasing down, looking for Lil. Optimistic actually pays off. Got close enough for the purification. Lil hung around just a little bit too long, and now that's the Soul Ring up for the Omni Knight.
Yeah, the value point in the... Or actually, he got 2 points in the degen. I like that. Ramses struggling a little bit too.
Oh, he's trying to get the open wounds. The problem is he's got no more heal. Lil will arrive. So now the tether is up. MSS doesn't have anything else to fight with. All he's got is his infused raindrops, but that won't save him from this. Ramses just beats him down with the claws. So gets a little bit of revenge for the death of his support.
Still getting a kill on Ramses like that. He's a full level ahead of him by now. And no one looking to invade the jungle. There aren't any stacks for him to take, but
Savage is actually pinched at the moment. The SK can come in through the river, and Solo and no one move up through the bottom part of the river. They saw him thanks to the Observer Watch. They just need the proper stun, and then no one can just raise him down. So good maneuver. Nice Observer Ward just sitting on the hillside that saw it all happen.
Yeah, and Dying's been struggling a lot this game. He's just sitting on a windlace and no sign of boots yet for him. Sitting at a paltry 23 gold. So Envy takes the first rune away from the Wisp, and MSS looking to set up a heal bomb.
Where is he? They're waiting for Lil to actually tether over. MSS read it perfectly. The open wounds will keep the distance. That's why he had to repel. Potentially able to block it inside the tree line. No, they can't. He's got his Quelling Blade up. So cuts through the trees and gets away to safety. Meanwhile, up on top lane, it looks like Sand King. Pasha hoping for an opening over an AUI with a rotation up from Solo. But it's just not enough.
He's forced to build full defensive on the Drow Ranger too. He has to go for the treads early, and then he has to go for a magic stick too. You generally don't want to get a magic stick on the Drow Ranger.
They're actually doing the rotation. And he threw the orb out. That's not enough to kill because he didn't actually hit Lil with that orb.
That was a cool tree eat by AUI. He ate one of the trees so he could pull the creeps and stack the ancients. That one that you see the dragons go through. I haven't seen that too much. Efficient.
It's classic AUI, right? Put him as well as Envy on a team, you expect some kind of shenanigans like that.
Yeah, and he went for the Blightstone too, so he can actually farm ancients. Normally you would wait for the Morbid Mass, so this is probably far earlier than VP's expecting him to go. They're probably wondering where he is right now, and look at Solo. Solo's wondering where he is. He placed an Observer Ward to check out, because you don't expect the Drow Ranger to go to the jungle this early, at least not the ancients.
Yeah, not this kind of rotation. But instead, they're still adding a lot of pressure towards mid. So this will force like some kind of movement out of NP. Envy's going to TP in there. No one almost killed off Savage with 2 really nicely placed razors. It really does show distance of these heroes. 8.5k on the net worth of the SF compared to the 5.2 of the OD. Envy just is a bit of a non-factor at the moment.
Uh-oh, they smoked, and Drow Ranger attacked the Ancients, so she will not be involved in that fight.
I don't think she wants to be at this point. If she's still farming up the Ancients, unless she's going to walk in. That Observe Ward on the hillside from Virtus Pro, it would have scattered a small movement, not to mention the one which is sitting just in front of that bottom rune. But they're quick enough. They've done it. They actually pick up the Aegis Immortal, they get into the hands of AUI, and they'll get out before Virtus Pro can react. Or can they? Pasha's in close. He's lined up. He gets a double Burrow Strike. The Gust is actually going to miss. Same with the Decay, and now no one looks to open up. AUI separated from the rest of his team, sitting inside the pit. No one's just going to TP out. They don't want the fight. Positioning isn't perfect for them. Just let it go.
He didn't stun the Omni Knight in the first match, or else worse split up, they can easily just reinforce the number.
Well, you look at Ramsey, he's solo pushing the mid lane. The first TP's coming back now from Eternal Envy, but Ramsey's rage is up. He does his own little trick again, so stays inside the rage, does his TP, and then is away. And he took off almost half of the HP of that tier 3 tower.
Aegis out in 30 seconds. I think it's about time that VP can make a move, and no one was just farming their ancients, and now they're slowly losing out in the economic war as VP pull ahead with a 10k net worth lead, and VP almost certainly not going to be willing to give them the next Aegis if Shadow Fiend's BKB is up, and BKB up, Diffusal up, Aegis expired. I think this is it.
So if you're Virtus Pro, obviously you don't feel like you're on the clock with your lineup, everyone's looking really, really good. Do you not give MP the fight inside the base? Like, do you actually want to delay this game out by like another 20 minutes until you become almost immortal against the MP lineup? Or is this giving MP too much space to come back?
I think it just depends on what MP wants to do. If they want to farm together as 5, they need to do it in a well-fortified position. And they always need to hide the Omni Knight. That's the most important part. If Omni Knight dies early in the fight, and he doesn't have any mobility items, no Blink, no Force Step, no Glimmer, like nothing like that to really save himself, I guess just Mech, which isn't that effective versus like a Sand King Burrow Strike Epi. But if he gets caught, then I think like they will just get crushed in the fight really badly because they have nothing against the rage of the lifesteal except for GA. So if MP goes outside of base, you take the fight to them, and looks like they're setting up very, very soon. 4 people have smoked. We see Ramsey's in position to run in with a Diffusal Blade. The only thing that they're lacking right now is vision, so they have to be a little bit careful about how they tread on the north side of the map, and you can kind of see that with Ramsey's still hiding in that tree area.
They're waiting for him to come back over, so MP just scanned. They scanned the top river entrance. They were expecting Virtus Pro to move up through the river. The scan, it just wore off before Lil reached it. So they do not know, but the smoke is going to break in just a second, but they're out of range of the Observer and Sentry. So they tether forward. AUI massively separated from the rest of the pack. He's already broken down. He'll Hurricane Pike himself down to the waiting arms of Randy. The Fire Strike is there, and they kill off the...
Or some picks and open up the map for them a little bit more, but in the straight 5-on-5, it's not really going to feel very useful.
Speaking of picks, there's the Blink Fire Strike. They're going to Hurricane Pike him up. The heals were enough from Savage as well as MSS. Now they try and turn the fight. Lil is pretty low. But you have to remember, no one is pretty big, and he has that fresh BKB on him. So if Eternal Envy wants to fight this one, no one will be happy to turn it back to Ramsey. He's the one on the front lines. Diffusal Blade charge over on the OD. They push him up. Pasha's Fire Strike still connected. Another defensive equipment. They're hiding around Virtus Pro nicely. Requiem, very ineffective against MP. Well, they're looking for another target. The Blink, the Yule Scepter is up. Rose, oh, he went to Sandstorm. They missed the target. The Gem of True side of MP now locked. It was sitting on the Rubik. There was no one that got the kill, but now they get a Molding Cast over on Eternal Envy. This could be him down. No buyback, a double kill for the SF, and a double Fire Strike from Pasha. Right on the money. Triple kill for no one. He'll look to make it something a little bit more. Will it be the Rampage? It's an ultra kill at the moment. Savage is the last one of life. Push him in, and there it is. A Virtus Pro Rampage will force the GG call out of MP, and that is one very dominant